Sherman, I ate all your fish!
Under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Up on the shore, they work all day.
Yo, what's going on, guys? COGF here, and today I'm finally doing my 6K Q&A. I said I would do this a long time ago, and the questions are actually from way back in the beginning of December or mid-December, so yeah, sorry for the delay on that, but I got really busy and now I finally have some time because my school schedule is a lot easier, so I'm making the video now. And yeah, so pretty much what I did, I tweeted out hashtag #AskCOGF and I asked you guys to ask me some questions that you were wondering about, and I'm just going to go through and answer. I believe I picked out like 28 questions or something like that. And also in the background, what you're seeing is just some Battlefront gameplay, because that's a game that I've been enjoying lately and I really like the game. And the gameplay is decent, so I figured I have to have something in the background, so why not that? So yeah, without further ado, let's hop into the questions. And the first question comes from my good friend @Pobra, and he asks, rice or noodles? And this is a really easy question for me because noodles are really good, man, but rice is essential. Like, you gotta have rice with every meal, especially if you're Asian like I am. Like, it's honestly an essential, so yeah. Alright, the next question comes from Xavier H, and he says, when did you start editing? And I started editing around 2012, and it kinda, the way it worked is, my friends and I, like my school friends, we decided to like start making montages on YouTube. We had our own little clan called Glide, and so pretty much my first edit was just like an iMovie edit that I had an After Effects color correction on, and it was horrific, and I think it's actually still on my channel, so if you want to go and find that, then go for it, but it's honestly horrific. So yeah, if you want to watch that, it's your loss. Okay, so the next question comes from Sputter, and he asks, favorite team you've ever been in? And he says the answer better be Torq, and he's right about that. My favorite team was definitely Torq, because obviously I was in it for the longest time, and the people in there, especially when I first joined, were just like the nicest, coolest guys ever. Like, I remember when I first joined, being in a 6-man, and that was the first time I met Torq Stubbs, or Stubborn Girls, if you guys don't know him. Funniest guy ever. Like, just the times that I had in that team and everyone in it just made Torq the best team ever. So yeah, that's definitely my answer. Okay, so the next question comes from my good friend DG's, and he asks, if you became the red lead editor and you had a chance to bring a whole new editing roster, who would you pick? And then he says at least 5. Well, I'm not really gonna answer this question properly because, like, honestly, the way the red editing roster is right now is kind of perfect. Like, obviously I'd want to pick up like Fruit because he's been doing a few red episodes and he's a beast, but he's really happy with where he is in SoaR, so that wouldn't happen. But yeah, honestly, the red editing roster right now is probably at its best, and I don't think there's any changes that would make it better or anything like that. So yeah, I'd keep it the same pretty much. Alright, so the next question comes from Sam Ciolis, and he asks, GOAT or After Effects? And this is like an easy one because I am the GOAT, so obviously I'm gonna pick GOAT because, well, GOATs are fucking awesome, so yeah. Okay, so the next question is from Tefloey, and he asks, if you could bring back any team into its prime, what would it be and why? And I think the answer is pretty obvious. I would want to bring back Torq, but the only way I would ever do that is if we had the same leadership as what we had like in the beginning, or somewhere around there, like me, Klein, Tucker, and then also if it would come back into like the same state that it was when it was in its prime, like just a closer group of friends and all that stuff who played COD together and that stuff, and then like just produce content, because that's honestly what made Torq fun, was that it was just such a small group of people who like actually liked each other and weren't fighting constantly. So that's kind of what I would want if we brought Torq back, which we won't, but yeah. Okay, so the next question comes from Basha Gaming, and he asks, what is your favorite edit? And well, I just did a video on this the other day, but my favorite edit from me is Time V4. My favorite edit from anyone else is gotta be Pomage, like the Pomage Nikki HD movie, because Nikki HD is fucking crazy. Like, the shit she can do is it honestly blows my mind that she's still editing like based off of Call of Duty clips and she's not doing movies or something, but like easily that is my favorite edit. So yeah. Okay, the next question comes from Red Bry, and he says, how does it make you feel knowing that Torq produced some of the most talented members of this community? It's pretty cool to see how many Torq members are high up in teams, especially Red. There's a lot of OG Torq homies in Red now. Like there's me, Bry, Swanee, Visiblo. I know I'm missing some people. Gandhi. And there's a bunch of us, so I know I missed someone probably, but there's so many good old Torq friends in Red, and it's just crazy seeing them there. So yeah. Okay, so the next question comes from Ravi7F, and he asks opinions on Voki's knack tutorial video. Honestly, man, it's one of the best videos I've ever seen. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out below. He's a knack god. He shows you how to do all the knacks, you know, knack 1, knack 2, all that shit. Oh god, I'm gonna get hate in the comments now. But yeah, honestly, it's fucking hilarious that he made that video, and if you want a good laugh, go check it out. So yeah. Alright, so the next question comes from Obey Fully, and he asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love me? Hashtag the birds. So if you guys don't know, the birds was something that came out of my Red RC, because I don't think I've actually ever tweeted this or anything, but on the last day of the Red RC, I needed to get one more cinematic, and my Xbox would not fucking sign it. You probably saw me tweeting. I was like all like caps lock, like tweeting swear words and everything. Like I was extremely pissed off because I had to get one cinematic. I had like the clip editing completely rendered. All I had to do was finish the intro, and I needed one cinematic, and I couldn't sign in the Xbox and get it. So I was flipping out, and then thankfully Foley came around, and I kind of walked him through how to get a cinematic, and he ended up getting that really nice cinematic of the birds in my time before edit. And honestly, I love you about a 10 out of 10 because of just that. Like honestly, man, you're the best. Alright, so the next question comes from L7 Nitro, and he says, what's your plans for your next edits in Red? Now, if you guys haven't been following my Twitter, I've been tweeting out about doing a dual edit with Obey Wizard and Mentor eventually, but that kind of fell through because none of us are doing You Shall Obey anymore. They got other people that I know of because we couldn't do it, so that kind of fell through. But for my first edits in Red, I'm actually going to be doing Visiblo's first Black Ops 3 montage, probably his only Black Ops 3 montage because he hates the game. And then I'm also going to be doing Jass's introducing to Red, and they're both complete beast snipers, so look out for those two edits on Red soon, and yeah. Okay, so the next question is from The One Burns, and he says, if Torq ever comes back, what would you do? And I've gotten a lot of questions about Torq. I don't know, like now that I'm looking at this, I don't know why I picked so many questions related to this, but I think it's just because I got so many. But yeah, either way, if Torq ever came back, it would be because of something that Swanee and Klein and myself are doing. And normally whenever we say this, we're just trolling people like Tucker and Klein. So just randomly, they'll tweet out the comeback on the Torq Twitter, and I'll have no clue what's going on. So yeah, if Torq ever did come back, then obviously us three would be involved. But, you know, it's probably not going to happen, so yeah. Sorry if you wanted Torq to come back, it's just not happening. Okay, so the next question comes from @xjumper, and he asks, what is the story behind the name COGF? Now, a lot of people, I don't think are aware of this, but if you look at my channel name, it's actually youtube.com/user/call-of-game-footage, which is what COGF stands for. And if you want to know the story behind Call of Game Footage, I don't really know how it happened. All I remember is that I was 12 and I was watching a YouTube video. I was in the mood where like I was already playing Call of Duty, watching FaZe, watching SoaR and Dare and all that stuff. And I wanted to make my own YouTube channel and kind of get into it. And I was like trying to find names, and I came across this one like channel that had like a trailer, like a leaked trailer for The Dark Knight Rises. I don't know why, but I was on that channel and it had something to do with Call of Game Footage, except it had to do with film instead of game. I don't remember what the channel was, but I saw that and I immediately thought Call of Game Footage, and for some reason I stuck with it, and I've stuck with it for the past 5-6 years. and honestly I don't know why, because it's just like, it's a terrible name, but it just kind of stuck. So yeah, that's the story behind my name. So yeah. Alright, so the next question comes from @SpyroYT, and he asks, what's your biggest edit you've ever done for somebody? Now, if you didn't know, in 2014, all I did pretty much was just phase milestone montages. Eski's 50k, Blaziken's 250k, that was actually in 2015, but Brio's 100k, Adapt's 200k, and his 300k, and it all started with Swan Dive 17. And I wouldn't say Swan Dive 17 is the biggest edit that I've ever done for someone, but I definitely think it's the edit that got me out there. It like made people recognize who I am. Like, if you didn't know, Swan Dive 17, it was right when Ghost came out, and it was my first ever upload on Phase. And after that episode, I actually got like, I was gonna do 2 more Phase episodes, but I ended up doing Torq Cams 1 instead, and I still don't regret that, because that edit was beast. And not that edit was beast, that Cams episode was beast. Torq Cams 1 is the best thing ever. But I was gonna do Matters episode, and I was also gonna do Rugs episode, but that just kind of fell through. And then I actually ended up getting a bunch of these Phase like personal channel milestone montages. But if I had to choose which one was the biggest, I think I would say Adapt's 200k or his 300k were the biggest, because seeing how big Adapt's channel has gotten now, and just having an edit on there is like amazing, because his channel is blown up, and it's honestly really cool to see that I was a part, or like a really small part of that when I did his milestone montages. So yeah. Okay, so the next question is from Zyrex, and he asks, what are you gonna do if Trump gets elected president? So I would I would honestly like to say that I would move to Canada, or I would move to Scotland, but that's completely unrealistic. So honestly, I just have to put up with it. But if he does get elected, honestly, I would just lose faith in America, because he is a bumbling idiot who's completely insensitive to everything in the world. So yeah, not talking about Trump anymore. Alright, so the next question comes from @SirMickeyReverse, and he says, does editing ever get boring for you? And this is something that not a lot of people think about when it comes to like editors and how quickly they want them to edit. But yeah, editing can get really boring, and honestly, the only way that really happens is if you're extremely rushed and you don't have time to really like do anything creative, or actually that's it. Yeah, if you're just not being creative, then it gets super boring, because it's just syncing to a song with a color correction, and it gets super boring because you have to wait for like for a RAM preview, and then it's just repetitive and boring if you don't do something creative. And honestly, time is a huge factor in that. The more time you have on an edit, and the more creative you can be in that time, is what makes editing enjoyable, at least for me, that is. So yeah. Okay, so the next question comes from SoaR, and he says, why are you such a moron? And honestly, I think it's just because I'm an idiot. Okay, so the next question comes from SinSolid, and he asks, I know you play soccer, do you plan on making it a profession or no? If not, what do you want to do? So, if you guys didn't know, I did play soccer throughout high school, and I played it as well when I was a little kid. But honestly, I was never really that good at it. Like, I kind of played it just to do something like active, and yeah, it was a lot of fun, but I'm not nearly good enough to make a profession out of it. So no, I'm not making a profession out of it. And instead of doing that, I'm assuming like, what do you want to do means like, what am I going to do in college, because I'm a senior this year in high school. So I'm planning on studying computer science as it is right now, but I'm still going to be editing Call of Duty, hopefully. I don't know how stressful college will be. We'll see how that goes, but I plan on sticking somewhat with editing, and I may take a few film related classes in college, but I don't really have a definite plan as of right now. So yeah. Alright, so the next question is actually again from Sam Ciolis, and he says, what do you think of this? And it's a picture of me sitting on the toilet with a bunch of Christmas ornaments in front of me. I think it's a pretty attractive picture. I don't know about you guys. I think it resembles my my life pretty well, and yeah. Okay, so the next question comes from Jonesy, and he asks, who is your favorite editor? Now this is actually kind of a hard question because there are a few different editors that I really like in the community. Obviously, I've said Nikki HD earlier has my favorite edit, but she's kind of like into just more modeling and that kind of stuff. So if I had to go with favorite editor, just talking console, I would say Penji right now is my favorite editor. His style is just so clean, and he knows to show the clip. That's what I love about Penji. He can be really good, really creative, have some really cool stuff going on, but yet he still shows the clip, and he knows that that's the main focus, which I think that's actually why he's in phase. So if I had to go with anyone as my favorite editor, it would definitely be Penji. So yeah. Alright, so the next question comes from Tyler Landano, and he says, is global warming a real thing? And yes, it's obviously a real thing. However, there are idiots out there like Ted Cruz who think it's not a real thing and that it's just being made up by democratic scientists. Yeah, democratic scientists. Okay, I'm not getting into this. This is Call of Duty. No. Alright, so the next question comes from Obey Extract, and he asks, will you ever hit the nay-nay? And honestly, I'm just gonna let this Vine answer it for you.
Solid toe, go and do it for me. Now watch me whip, kill it. Now watch me nay-nay. Okay. Now watch me whip, watch me nay-nay. Why me do it?
Alright guys, so that about wraps up my 6K Q&A. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'm sorry for all the cringy answers and the cringy stuff that I had in this video, like the intro, the last video. I'm sorry you had to sit through all of that, but yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like and comment down below. I'm going to be doing more kind of personality and other kind of videos in the future, so be sure to subscribe to get all that, because I'm going to be expanding from just doing editing, but obviously I'm still going to do edits and editing time lapses, and hopefully I'm even going to be live streaming editing soon, so stay tuned for all of that. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe, all that stuff, so you get notified when all of that happens. And yeah, like I said guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and this has been COGF, and I'm out. Peace.